I'm really excited that on today's show, I'm going to be making two of my favorite drinks for the holiday season. Both of them are wine, and I think that you're going to love them. Join me in my kitchen now as we get started with two very special wine drinks. All right, so we're in my kitchen, and now we're just going to get started on the mulled wine component. So we're going to make a red mulled wine. And I've really grown to love mulled wine, and I really have to thank two very special friends who kind of really got me started on mulled wine. So Lauren and Glenn, and now their really cutie patootie baby Nico. This one I dedicate to you guys because without you guys, my love for mulled wine probably wouldn't be quite as intense. So I'm just going to use a bottle of a Merlot. You don't want to go with anything too heavy because, I don't know, I just kind of like my mulled wine sort of, I don't know, sort of light-ish. So I always do it with Merlot. I find that it's the best with Merlot. And since it's just me at home right now that's going to be drinking this, I'm only going to make half a bottle. But on the blog, I'm going to put up the recipe for a full bottle. And then, of course, you want to add some water to it too because we're going to have it on the stove for a while. Really, I probably added about half a cup. Now, for the next part, I would say you could either use the powdered cinnamon, which I'm going to use too, and if you have cinnamon sticks, it's great to put in cinnamon sticks. So I'm going to put in, since I'm just using half a bottle, I'm just going to put in one cinnamon stick. And I'm going to put in a little bit of the ground cinnamon. Some people in their mulled wine, they like to put an orange. Personally, I like to put the rind of a lemon in instead. I prefer the taste. Careful not to get too much of the pulp in there because it's kind of bitter, so you just want the rind as much as you can. I don't want it to be bitter. So I'm just going to put in a few pieces. I also want to put in some cloves. If you have whole cloves, then throw in a whole clove. I don't have whole cloves, and I definitely believe in using what you have. So I have ground, so that's what I'm going to use. The only thing that sucks when you put on all this ground stuff is that you're going to have to strain it later. And then I'm going to put in some great honey. And of course, this is honey from just outside of Edmonton here. So I like to use local honey. And I always encourage you to support your local businesses. Just like my local community is supporting me. Thank you for watching. Since this is alcoholic wine that I'm using, you don't have to use alcoholic wine. You can use non-alcoholic wine too. The only thing is if your wine boils, you lose all the alcohol. And since I want to keep the alcohol in it, I'm going to try and make sure that my wine doesn't bubble. Right? Just keep it really, really low because this is going to be on the stove for about 25-30 minutes. And really, if you have this on, it makes the house smell really, really nice. So if you're having company over, again, I like to have a featured drink. Mulled wine in the wintertime is a great one. So we're going to put this on. We're going to put this on the stove, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make one more great wine recipe. It's another one that I really, really enjoy, and a lot of my lady friends enjoy having it as well. So let's get this on the stove, and I'll show you what I mean, and then we'll come back and we'll make a beautiful sangria. So we're going to start off with a bottle of a rosé wine. Anything, I always grab wine from BC, from Canada, but whatever rosé is Zinfandel wine you like. So I'm going to just start off, and I'm just going to dump the whole thing in. It seems like a lot of wine, it's really not. And then I like to mix in my sangria. I mean, there's so many ways to make sangria. This is just one that is popular with the friends that I have over, and I made it a couple of times and it works pretty good. From here I take, so I have the bottle of Zinfandel, then I take some white grape juice, and white grape juice is definitely the key. And I'm not going to put in the full container. I'm probably only going to put in about a half the container. A lot of these things I just really eyeball. If you really want to know how I do them, I just eyeball it. Alright, that seems about right. So half a container, white grape juice, because you don't want to totally get rid of the wine taste. Now, what's going to make this sangria more Christmassy than in the summertime? Because when you think sangria, you think, oh, that's a drink I should have in the summer. Well, you know what? We're going to make it for the winter. So I've decided just to kind of put in some cranberries. We're going to put some cranberries and some nice dark red grapes. And then tomorrow evening when I have company over, before I serve it, I'm going to garnish it with something green. So maybe a little bit of mint in there. So I'm just going to cut open my grapes just in half because they're huge. And you don't need a lot of fruit because of course that's going to be fermenting in there. Now, depending on how sweet you like your sangria, you can put a little bit of honey. I like to put a little bit of honey sometimes. Taste it. Always taste your food. Looks like I have about maybe a cup here so far of these big, huge red grapes. So I'm just going to dump those in. Take a look. Yeah, I think I'm going to maybe about a cup and a half grapes. And then some cranberries. And we'll throw a little bit of orange in there too. So some cranberries in there. You could have frozen these cranberries too, and then they can become frozen cranberries that you put in a drink to make it a little bit colder. But so I'm going to use just a nice big navel orange. I cut the tops of both the top and the bottom of the navel orange, so it's nice and flat. I put it down, and then I'm just going to cut around the sides. Then I'm going to take my container, because you want to do this over the container. And I'm just going to now cut out my orange slices. And just drop them in. And depending on how you feel, how much orange you want in here, you can squeeze the juice in. I might not. I don't want it too citrusy. I just want to have a little bit of orange in there. So now that I have everything in here, I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator or outside. Of course, right now it's really cold, so it might freeze, but I'm going to put it in the refrigerator overnight and then we're going to enjoy a glass of it tomorrow when I have company. Stay tuned. Okay, so I've had my mulled wine on now for the last half an hour or so. I just kept it really low, right? Made sure it didn't boil. You'll notice it looks kind of glass-like. The surface of it looks really, really glass-like. You can't really see any of the grounds in it. So I'm just going to turn it off now, and then I'm just going to pour it into my mug. You can strain it if you want. I'm not going to strain it because it doesn't matter to me. I like all those little chunks. And so I'm going to take my first sip and thank everybody for joining me today on The Gracious Hostess. I look forward to getting to know you more and being inside of your homes. If you'd like me to come and join you at your house, let me know. Send me an email. See you soon, everyone. Bye!